Alright, here we go again. What was I doing? I finished both of these, right? Yeah, totally. Okay, so I need to do those, which were... Liar? Do I need liar? Have I done liar yet? I have done liar. So what I need is negation. Okay, negation. Yeah. Alright. Cool. Yes. Okay. This is just regular negation. What? Hold on. I didn't mean to click that. Oh, okay. It was just an auto-complete. I just happened to misclick slightly. Alright, what's going on here? These have to be balanced, so these two are out. Okay. These are balanced, so that's out. This is one up, so it's either both of these or neither of these. What is going on here? This needs a gray. This needs balance. So if this has a gray here... Oh, this one needs balance. The 0 needs balance. There we go. Okay. This needs to be off balance, so this needs to be like that, and therefore this. Okay, here we go. Oh, this 0, it needs a gray. And this 1 needs 2 grays, so actually it's like this and there, okay? And there we go. Alright. Yep. 0 and 2, therefore 2 is like this, okay. Oh, and that's out, obviously. Alright. This needs to be balanced from here, but... Okay, there's a way for that to happen. Oh, okay. Alright, so if I assume this isn't a mine, then this 1 needs to have something off balance. But if it's a black, for instance, with a different color, then this 2 will need a gray to compensate. The only gray left is this one, but that would mean this 2 can't have anything near it because it can't balance itself out. And so this 1 is not balanced and it can't unbalance itself, so like that's just dead. So that means these are out and these are in as the only thing for the 1, then this 2 needs that to balance, okay? But now, oh, this 2, it can't have 2, so actually, yeah, that's... What? Okay, so like this 1 already has 1 next to it, and I just like forgot that that was a thing. So that completely throws all my calculations off, once again. Okay, so this 1 already has 1. It actually needs to be balanced from here. So if this isn't it, then all of these can't be it either. Actually, 2 of them could be, and in fact 2 of them would have to be because of this 2 here. But actually I wouldn't know which 2. That's rough. So actually, so if this isn't a mine, then both of these have to be, okay? And now this is balanced and needs to unbalance itself, so it's one of those 2. But because of this 2, the only way is for this to happen. Because if it was this one and not that one, then this 2 wouldn't have 2. You know what I mean? Okay. So it forces that, if that isn't a mine. There's also probably something with like the 3 down here. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, because if it already had 2 of these, then there wouldn't be enough blacks to be able to, yeah. Okay, so like half the deduction was just clicking on that 3. Okay. Yeah, alright. So, alternatively, this is now balanced. It needs to unbalance. The ways it can do that are either this or that. Oh, wait, no. This 2 is unbalanced, so that actually needs to happen. And that means these are out. Which means this is in and that's out. Oh, furthermore, like, that's a bit... Yeah, okay. So I found it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, in this event, if we are looking at the current yellow marks. This 0 implies that this is a mine and that is not. This 1 would then imply that this is a mine. This one would need one of these grays to be a mine, or potentially both if that third black is. This 0 is balanced and there's balance there. This 1. This 0 says at most one of these grays can be, but like it doesn't matter. What does this 2 say? This 2 says it's dead. Yeah, it has 2 gray, 1 black, and there's only 1 black square left. There's no way for that to work. So that means the yellow assumption, that is that this is a mine, must be wrong, because it leads to a contradiction? What? This one already has a mine next to it. How do I miss that? Like, so often. That, like, ones just, like, have things next to them that I just don't notice are there. And then it does all sorts of stupid things. This? Yeah. And then that. Okay. And this, obviously. Alright. Okay, so that changes everything. I guess we'll still use the same argument by cases. Since it worked before, it will work again. Hopefully. If this is a mine, these are balanced. This one needs one of those two to be. Who knows which? This one... This 0 says that... Okay, if this is a mine, then both of these have to be. And that would make that not one, and therefore that not one. This 2 would now be done for, so that can't actually happen. And so... What? Hold on. As long as this is a mine... Okay. If this is a mine, this one... Yeah, it's either both of these... Wait, what? This one... Oh no, it's balanced right now. It needs one of these two. Okay, jeez. So in particular, if it's this, that would be out, and now there's no way for this 2 to work. So actually, under these circumstances, that can't be a mine, therefore this is and that also isn't. And then, since this has 2 blacks, it needs a gray. And this is a mine, and therefore that is as well. This 0 says that it needs that. Okay. Okay, now assuming this is a mine, that means this isn't. Now, this is a both or neither situation, and because of that, this cannot be. And since this is gone, this needs a black but not a gray, which means these are both missing. And then this 0, yeah, it needs a mine here and that. And then because of this, now these are just balanced. And this is gone. I see 2 mines and 2 safe squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, next cases. Let's see, these... Okay, if that's not one, then that isn't one either, which would make that not one. Now I have to think, okay, is this one... It is not okay under my markings here, because if there's a mine here and not a mine there, that makes a 0 for this one, which it's not. So that means all of the current yellow markings must be in. So mine, safe, 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 safe. And there's apparently more stuff. Oh, that's the more stuff. 9 mines left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this 0 already has a mine here. So it can't be all 4 of these. So the one that has to be missing has to be a black square. So one of these 2. But if this one is missing, it would also make that missing, which can't be. So the only one that isn't a mine is that one. Okay, these ones share a space, so these two have to be balanced, which means the 0 requires that that is the case. Now this has to be balanced in order for these two ones to agree with each other, so yes. Okay, this 0 is... it's the only new information I get, and supposedly that tells me a lot. Okay, so, for example, if I have all three of these black squares, right, it would force this to happen. And now this 0 has two blacks and only one spot for a gray, so that's impossible. In other words, at least 3 of these gray squares have to be mines. And at most 1 of these black squares can be mines. Therefore, if this is a mine, for instance, that would force this to be a mine and that not to be. And if that's the case, there's no way for this 3 to be satisfied, because it would need 4 gray squares for that to happen, but it only has access to 3. Because, like I said, the other option is for this to be all 3 black squares and 4 gray squares down. It basically would imply this, right? But then that would violate the 0. And so that's not possible. So that's not a mine. Now the point is, because these have to be the same as each other, that means these 3 all have to be mines and these 2 can't be. And actually that was it. Okay. This 1, these have to be balanced, so that, okay. This has to be balanced, therefore this, and therefore that. This needs one of these 2 to be, which means that this will be balanced from that, which means it can't unbalance itself with that, which forces that as well by this 0 and that 1. This 0 requires that. This 2 has a black already. These 2 have to be the same as each other, so they cancel each other out, which means that's 1, which means that isn't, and that means that for that one. Okay, fine. Okay. Something? This 0 is already balanced. This 1 is going to unbalance it, so this 0 needs... no, the 1 is already unbalanced. These are balanced. These are balanced. This 2... yes. Okay. 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there anywhere else on the board? No, there's not. So only one of those is allowed to not be a mine. Which means obviously those 2 are. These are balanced as well. Yeah, these are both or neither as well, so obviously those 2 are. That 1 says that that's not, and there we go. Okay. 0, 2, 1, the 1, okay. So the 2 is going to have either both blacks or both grays. And the 1, therefore, has to have the opposite color of whatever the 2 has in order to turn the 2 into a 1. This 3 can either be all 3 blacks, or 3 grays and no blacks, or 4 grays and 1 black. So let's say we have this situation, right? Where the 2 picks the gray squares as its thing. That means the 1 requires to pick that black square and not that gray square. And now, with this configuration, the 3 is required to do this in order to survive. And now, that's actually completely fine. Okay. So we'll just look at that and see how that goes. And see what happens elsewhere. Oh, I see what happens. Yeah, like if, okay. So if this isn't a mine, the only way for this 2 to work is this to happen. Now the 1 requires the gray square for that to work. And now, once again, we have a gray square that is a mine and a gray square that's not a mine, thereby forcing the 2 remaining gray squares to be mines and the 3 remaining black squares to not be mines, and so we have that as our conclusion. All of the squares that were revealed happen to be 1s. Okay. This 1, it needs... okay. So this 0 is going to automatically balance this out for this 1 right here. Which means that's like the one thing that it has that it's going to... yeah, so it forces that open. Like, because all this stuff has to balance out to be net 0, and so that's the 1 that it has right now. This 4. Oh, a 4. Hello. Um, so somehow this is determined then, or am I crazy? Okay, so if this is a mine and that isn't, there's no way this one works out, right? Because there's only one black square left, and it wouldn't, yeah. So that means my current yellow markings are wrong, so the red and blue ones are correct. Yes. Yeah, okay. 4 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are both or neither. This one is already unbalanced. These are both or neither, so yeah, okay. Oh, got to 8 by 8. I'll unlock 2 things by doing this. Alright, yeah. 3 on the edge. This 2, yeah, just does that, okay. This one says these have to be the same as each other. What? I didn't click? Okay, this one says these two have to be the same as each other. That means, as far as the 2 concerned, these cancel each other out, so we have that. Okay. This one of these 2 has to be a mine, and the other has to not be. This says... Okay, currently it needs at least 2 gray squares, and at most 1... Okay. So either, like, if this is a mine, then all these 3 are, right? And that would force this to be 1 as well. This now needs that to happen, and now that forces this from this 2, right? Now this 1 has 2 here. Okay, that's not really a problem. This 2 is +1 gray right now. It needs +1 more gray. So what I can say that would say a lot is if that black was on, then those would both have to be. And now the 0 needs both of these to be, which makes this 1 wrong. So that means this is off. Now the other option is, like, you could have this, which would do that, which is completely fine. But you could have this, which would do that, which is technically also completely fine. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just mark these and see how that goes. Okay, so the alternative is this. And now, well, I know 2 of these have to... Oh, that is there. Okay. That scared me for a second there. Alright, so there's kind of a few options. You could have this one not be the mine, and then both of these would be. And now this 2 is like, oh, well, I need this to happen, and that will do that chain reaction and all of this, right? And now this 2 is like, oh, hey, I'm in the same situation as before, and so, like, that's not a mine, but that's about it, right? Okay. So this is pretty much the same as all those other things, except this is that way, right? Alternatively, this could be not a mine. And at that point, okay, you get this and that, and, like, alright, fine. But it could be that both of these are mines, or it could be neither of them are. If this one isn't one, then you get this situation up with this too. But if it is, then you actually get both of these being mines and that not being a mine. Which means that can erase, like, every single one of these marks. And, yeah, unfortunately the other option is this, which would do this. Everything I said about that before would also apply. But now... Oh, this would imply this. Ooh, but that might cause problems. Yes, it does cause problems. Indeed. Yeah, so it's this and that. Okay. I got a 0 here. That's all I got. Yeah, alright. Okay, so for instance, if this is a mine, it would force this to be a mine and kill all of that. Well, actually, let's not say that right away. There's two possibilities. One, you have all three mines, so this is 3 minus 1 equals 2. But now the 0 has 3 grays and only space for 2 blacks, and so it's impossible. So that possibility is not a possibility. That means we're left with this. Can't really see anything else being a consequence of this, though. Ah, you know what's interesting? This now has the consequence of doing this. Yeah, that's probably more impactful. Yeah, sure is. Okay, now the other way. Okay, so... Ooh, interesting. What would happen is that if this is a mine, so is that, and that also isn't forcing this, which means one of those two is, right? But if this isn't a mine, it would force that to be a mine, which forces that not to be a mine, which forces this to be a mine, thereby forcing both of these not to be, right? And now this 0 needs one of these as a mine, which would force this to be a mine and both of these not to be. And that would force this to be a mine and this not to be, because of the 0. Yeah. But now this 1 is completely done for, right? Because it has 3 blocks. Oh, no, it's not. Hold on. That would happen. Okay. Wait, no, but this 0 is now done because of this new mine being here. Yeah, so that's not possible. So it turns into this, which kills that, thereby forcing this in. And also, oh yeah, because this 0 has 2 mines, 2 grays on it, it needs 2 blacks, so the second black has to be in. And then these are both out, thereby forcing both of these in and that out. That's very interesting. Okay. So what I get out of this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This 0 just does that, right? And that is gonna cascade to be all sorts of things. Yeah, okay. Jeez. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah, all that's worthless now. Okay. Okay, so these are balanced. Ah. But because of this 1 and this 0, this has to be a mine? Because if it weren't, the 0 would force all these to have 0, but then there would be 0 for this 1. So there needs to be something to, like, shift the balance a little bit. Okay. 2 mines left. This 1 has 2. So one of those two needs to be mine. And this one is perfectly fine. Because it has, yeah. So that means none of these can be mines. And I think if this is a mine, then that's a mine and that isn't. So that's actually fine. I think the issue is if this is a mine, that's a mine and that isn't. Wait, that's a mine and that isn't, thereby forcing this to be a mine for this one to have, or yeah, the 1 and the 0 to both be dealt with, right? But that's 3 mines, so that's not allowed. So that's the last thing. This now says that, which will say this, and then yes. Okay. I'm gonna do 2 more negations like that. All right. So one of these 2 blacks has to be a mine, because it's 1. That means the 0 needs this gray to balance it out, and that black to not ruin things. Okay. Or to not, whatever. Okay. This one of these 2 has to be. This one has a thing out here. So either this is a mine and that isn't. This would then need that to balance out. It would also force that to be a mine. And then this would be gone, and this one would need something like this. I don't know. A 0 and a 2. Oh, yeah, so you have this, obviously. Because this will all cancel out because of the 0, and so you need a 2 and 0, with that 2 there. Oops. I mean, I don't think that line of reasoning was doing anything. Really? So it's probably okay that I erased it, but, I mean, I could be wrong. It was just this, right? Now this one needs something. Yeah, I don't think we can really go any farther with that, so I guess I'm just going to try the other way, which is going to do this. But now that can choose either of those to be its thing, which is, yeah, no. So that doesn't actually go anywhere. Okay. Oh, what about, like, if this is a mine? Or actually, if this is a mine, it forces both of these to be, because this 0 would have 2 grays and needs 2 blacks. So actually, and that forces that to happen. Okay, I see. Now, so obviously, if this is a mine, then the 0 would force both of these to be, right? In other words, if this is a mine, it would force this to be and that not to be, which would just like kill that 0. Alright, so this one's safe. And then furthermore, since now these 2 have to be the same as each other, that has to be the case in order for this to have balance. And now some cascading effects happen. Or not. Okay. This one right here needs to not mess anything up. Okay, this one here needs to mess something up. In other words, well, if this is a mine, then so is that, and now... Ooh. If this is a mine, that is and that isn't. But now we have a problem, because this one is fine where it is, right? But this one isn't. It needs a gray to complete itself. But that gray would throw this one off. So actually, this is gone. And so these 2 are linked. And if, because of 0. And if those 2 are linked, this one needs this to balance out. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Alright, okay. Okay, the 0. Obviously, like, if these are both the same or whatever, then there has to be a net 0 here. Oh, and that would mean this. would happen, actually. Okay. Oh, the issue is, though, because of these guys, these two must be different from each other. Must be different. If those two are different, I mean, those two must also be different, but okay. Wait, this one, what are you saying? This zero's already, Okay, first of all, if this is a mine, then this 0 says that that's a mine and that isn't, right? But now this 1 says that that needs to maybe be a mine too. And that means that this 0 needs net 0 along here. That means this 2 needs 2 black squares. But this 1 needs these two to be different. And if these are to be net 0 along those 3, with those two being different, that means this one has to be mine and that one has to be mine. And that actually does it, okay? Like that sets everything up. On the other hand, if this is not a mine, one of these two needs to be, I don't know which one, so let's just do cases like that. If this is, then that is, and that isn't. And now these are the same, so the same kind of thing happens down here like this. Okay, so we will erase that, erase that, erase that. All that other stuff stays. And now we see if this isn't one, that's not one either. That forces this to be. Now that forces there to be +1 gray along these lines, which means... Oh, and if it's just +1 gray, that's a contradiction, and so, yeah, alright. So we're left with that. Okay. Two mines left. Okay. So first of all, these are both or neither. These are both or neither. This needs to have one of those two. So it could be like, oh, maybe that's one. And then if so, that's not, and that's also not. And then like, okay, well, in that case, both of these are gone. Oh, yeah, just in every case. Yeah, alright, fair. Okay, and that means that one of those has been used here, so there's only one left, so it actually has to be that one. Okay. Oh wow, one safe square. Is it the 2 and the 1 next to each other? Does that do anything? This 2 is either both black or both gray, right? If that 1, then these have to be balanced. Actually, no matter what, these have to be balanced. Okay. They're specific, yeah, like they're both the same as each other. They have to cancel out. Because this 2 is going to have either give the 1 a +1 already this way, or it'll give the 1 a +1 already this way. So whatever happens, like those two have to be the same as each other. Which means I don't think I'm getting anywhere with this. Okay. This 2 and this 1, does the same kind of thing happen there? Yeah, it does. Oh! But these then have to be the same as each other. And since this one's already not a mine, that's not a mine either. And that will force this, which will do that with the 2, and now things happen. One of these needs to be. This needs to be net 0. So, for example, if this is here, then that's gone, and that forces this to happen. This 1 has to be net 0, but that's not possible, so goodbye. You're in. Okay. Okay, these are, oh, hello. These are the same as each other, as I just deduced way earlier. And these are also the same as each other for, reasons. Okay, okay. This needs net 1 black. this needs net 1 black. This needs net 0. So, for example, if this is 1, let's, how can I, if this isn't 1, then that has to be 1. There we go. And that isn't. And that forces this to be, and also these not to be. But then this 1 just has no way out. So this is a mine, regardless. These are the same as each other, therefore. So I guess I can kind of ignore that. Now, if this is 1, that would force this to be 1 and this one not to be, which would be a death sentence. Now, if this is 1, well, okay. If these are the same as each other, those, oh. Right, the 0 says these are the same as each other. And that means that's a mine and that isn't. There we go. Okay. Now, this 0, I know those two are the same as each other, which means those two have to be different from each other. Since that's a mine, that can't be. 7 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so any two that are paired and have to be the same as each other have to both be mines. That includes all of that. That one now says this. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got the levels. Plus prime. Here we are. Multiple negation. So it's like multiple and negation at the same time. So, yeah. So this 1 is like, oh, okay. The black squares are worth 1 mine, so if I need an odd number, then I have to have exactly 1 black square. Because by doing gray squares, I can only go 2 at a time, because each gray square is worth 2. And that means one of these 2 black squares is, right? And that means that in order for this 2 to be an even number, I need 1 more black square, specifically this one. And this 2 as well means I can't have that black square, because if I do, it would make this an odd number, and there's no other one to make it even. And so there we go. Okay, this 3 has 1 black square. It is an odd number. It cannot have a second one. That would make it even, because there's no way to make a third one to be odd, so that's gone. This 4, again, an even number, only 1 black square near it. It cannot be this black square, because that would make it an odd number, but it just has to be even. And that requires this to be a mine for that 1. This 3 already has 1 on a black square and only 1 black square, so like it needs to be odd. It is odd. I can't make it even. This means that one of these 2 has to be, and that means like exactly one of these 2 has to be, because whichever one it is, that will satisfy the 2, and then the other one can't be, right? So that means no matter what, this is going to have to be 1. And I think the same issue with this 2, right? One of these 2 has to be, and exactly one of them. And that will, whichever one it is, will make it 4 minus 1 to make 3. So that means this cannot, like, throw in other stuff. Okay, this 6 has 2 black and 2 gray. It is off right now. So yeah, just all those have to be filled in. This will cascade around everywhere. Okay. Again, odd and even numbers. This 0, okay, this 2. Oh, okay, because one of these 2, that means 2 of the black squares around the 0 have to be mines, right? Unfortunately, I don't think that really does much. But I guess the point is, if either of these were mines, there would have to be another one there. That would put the 0 at +4 on gray. Then it would need 4 black to make up for that, but it doesn't have access to that, so yeah, alright. One of these 3 is a mine. One of these 2 is a mine. Since 2 of these 3 is a mine, and only one of those 2 is, that means that one has to be. Now this 1 says either 1 or 3 of them have to be. So it could be both of these, which works, but it could also be neither of them, which also works. Now, one of these 2 has to be. So, like, either this could happen, right? Oh, but either way, 5 needs 6 of gray in order for it to work. And now, okay, I see. The 0, yeah, no. Well, the 2. It's gonna need one more black, and it can't have a gray, because, yeah, okay. This 2, once again, at least one of these has to be black. Exactly one of those 2 has to be black. Therefore, or it has to be a mine. Okay, there, okay. Now this one, since it doesn't have any gray squares left, that just has to be neither of these 2. Yeah, okay. And then that will fall out from that. And here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, because if it only has one black square. It can't be that, because that would make it odd, and then, yeah, alright. That's pretty funny how each one was just like, you could click it and it would tell you something. Alright, this one of these 3 has to be 0, 2 of these 3 has to be, so one of those 2 has to be, that one has to, what? Oh, the one 3 of them could have been, it could have been 3, yeah, stupid, okay. Alright, it could be all 3, but it could only be 1. The point is, though, yeah, no, that's rough. Well, one point is that happens, okay. As we saw, when there's a 2 like this and there's only 3 dark squares around the 0, then, like, it needs to have 2 of them be, and you can't have 4 of them because there just aren't 4 there. And, alright, all of that stuff. This could just be everything, or just one of the gray squares and nothing else? Could it be just the 2 black squares and nothing else? No, it cannot be that. Because if it were that, then this 1 wouldn't have any way to get to be 1. In other words, if this isn't a mine, then there's kind of 2 possibilities. Either this isn't, which would mean that isn't, and that is. And oh no, that's actually not a possibility. Okay, so actually what happens is that these are both mines. Wait, what? Hold on. I just thought of the scenario, right? Like, I just proved this, right? If this isn't 1, then this 2 says that that one can't be either. But now this 0 says that, oh. So first of all, those 2 have to be, because the 0 says that at least 2 of these 3 have to be because of the one from this 2 getting in there, right? So now because of this 1, that forces that, but now by the 2, that forces, okay. Yeah, okay. 1 mine left. This 2 cannot have... It has 2 right now. If I added 1 more mine, that would make it 0, so I would need to add another, but I don't have another to add, so that means both of these are out. And that does that. Okay. 6 by 6. Okay, these ones that... Oh, but it's multiple. Huh? Oh, yep, that is possible. I should have thought of that, but okay. Explain? Should I explain? Probably. Okay, so I was thinking, like, oh, these ones share these squares, so, like, whatever this has, the other one will also have, and so, like, it's fine, right? Then that means there can't be anything here, because if it were, it would, like, make something different between these 2 ones. But it's actually possible that you could have something like this, where this gets its 1 from the black, and this gets 1 as 2 minus 1 for the 2 gray and 1 black. So, like, that's a thing that can happen. Okay. Now this 0 in this 1. The 1 is going to have these form an odd number. The 0, though, needs to be an even number, so it needs another black square to change from odd to even. To do that, it needs that black square, because that's the only one it has. Okay. This 2 needs another black square with it, but I know from this 1 that there will be 1 there, which means that one can't be. Yeah, and that does that, which does this, which now... The 0 needs one of those 2 or one of those 2. Either one will work, actually, as it turns out. Now this 4 needs 2 of these gray squares to be mines. For example, this one isn't, and this would do that, and now none of these can be, and then one of those is, but who knows which one that is. And this 0 would be like, oh, then none of these are, and okay, that's like the end of that, right? Ah, I see. The issue would be this, right? If this isn't 1, then it would do this. But then because of this 1, that one wouldn't be able to. But now this 2 is stuck at 0, which can't happen. So that's a 9. So the alternative is that isn't, which does this. And now the 2 needs that to be. Ah, which no matter what is going to kill those. And furthermore, since that's a mine anyway, the 0 has that result. So yeah. Okay. I can probably trash that. It's not much of a cases. Okay, yeah. It already devolved into this. Okay. Okay, so it's either all 3 of these or none of them. This 1 needs one of those 2 to be, but therefore the 2 needs that to be. That means this 2 needs that to be, which forces both of these to be, and okay. 2 mines left. This 0 needs one of these 2. This 2 needs one of those 2, so the overlap can't be. And there we go. One more. 2 and 4. This 4 has to be the same evenness and oddness as this 2, which means that can't be. Again, these 5 and 3 are both odd numbers, so that can't be either. Now the mine requirement. This 4 needs 2 more than the 2, right? So, like, for sure, one of these 2 guys has to be mine, and similarly, one of those 2 guys has to be mine. Now, I'm not entirely sure. And specifically, this 2 has to be +2 gray. Because the 4 would not be able to switch a +2 black into a +4 gray. That's just not possible. It doesn't have access to enough gray squares to do that. And I think the similar reason happens with the 3 and the 5. 3 has to be +2 gray. Oh, well, it always had to be, yeah, like, because it doesn't have 3 black squares in it, so it has to be +2 gray. So it's 1 black and 4 from gray to make 4 minus 1 equals 3. It's the only option. What do these 2's tell me? They tell me that since this is odd from the 5, they're going to have an odd number here. That means that forces that to be even. This is already even, so that is out. And now I know one of these 2 is, and one of those 2 is, but furthermore this has to be and that can't be. So it's like the overlap between these has to say something. Specifically, wait, exactly one of these 2. But it could be both of these potentially. So let's just say, for instance, this happens, and then you have this, and that would force that, which would take that out. But now this needs to have that, so it would force this in, right? It would do that. But otherwise, it would force one of these 2, it would be one of these 2. This would have to be gone, yes. Which would force this in, but since that, yeah, that would just force it, yeah, okay, so, yeah, obviously not, alright. I mean, I kind of saw the reasoning in my head before, like, it came to that, but alright. Okay, this 2, this 4, 1, So for example, if this is a mine, so is that. This 4 would need all 3 of these to deal with that. This 1 would then need that to happen in order to deal with that. That would kill both of these. This would force that, and thereby force this as well. And that just is an arrangement that works. Alternatively, this is not one. Therefore that isn't one either. Therefore that isn't one. And now, because of that, this one can only have one here, so that's a mine. One of these two is, that one isn't. One of these two is, I don't know which one. This two, if both of these are gone, then this is actually gone, which means that's in. And now, because this is gone, that's in. And, well, okay, we have that. Alright. Now, okay, so given red markings, we have this. Wait, no. Red markings are impossible. Because if this is a mine, this 2 has like 6 on it, and you can't get 4 this way to cancel that out. So we are looking at that situation. And now all my markings are useless. Okay. So these are one or the other. That forces this to be, and like obviously that has to be out. Okay. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Keep going. Here we go. Got him. Okay. That was a second 6x6. Now for negation cross. Or negation cross. All right. Anyway, this one is one that or that. This 0 says. What does it say? Okay, so if this is a mine, and this 1 says that's gone, and if that's gone, this 0 says both of those are gone. And if that's the case, this 1 is done for, so actually, like, you're just out. And furthermore, if this is 1, that would kill this, now that 0 is just done for, so this can't be, that forces that to be, that forces that to be. Alright. And things are happening very quickly. 1 mine left, it is in one of those 2 spots, or is it? No, no it's not. This already has 1. It would need 2 to maintain the balance, and so they're both actually out. That's in. Here we go. Alright. 3? Oh. 0. This 0 is already +1 black. So if this is a mine, for instance, then that is out. And if that is out, all these 3 have to be mines, but that ruins the 0. So that's not possible. What? Hold up. Oh, wait, why did I... Oh, that doesn't make... No, I'm stupid. Okay, if this isn't a mine, then that's in, and all these are out. And that does this. Oh, okay, that's a thing. Alright. If this is a mine, then this can't be, because if it is, it would force that to be as well, but this 3 has to be all of one type or the other, so yeah, okay. So this 2 is currently balanced, so it's either both of those or both of those, right? This 0 is balanced currently. So if the 2 is grays, for instance, then the 0 just need an extra black and it would be fine. So if the 2 were blacks, for instance, then this would need another gray, but it doesn't have access to 1, and so that's a contradiction. And so we are left with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Right, this 2 has 3 black squares open and 1 gray square open. For example, because of this 0, if this is here, then that is there. And then this 2 needs that. So no matter what, those 2 have to be. And also no matter what that has to be. Okay. This means these are linked to each other, which means, yeah. That's gone, and then maybe this says something? One of the two grays has to be... Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. Now this one is currently... Okay. So these are linked. These are linked. These are linked. This 0 says these are linked as well. This 0 says I need one more gray, and if those are linked, it has to be that one, but that would link it to that, and which would probably do a bunch of other stuff as well. Okay, it did. Alright. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. So one of these two blacks need to be at least. So that means that gray needs to be, that black needs to not be, and also that gray needs to not be, because if it were, it would make both of those, but then the 0 wouldn't be able to balance itself. Okay. Yep, okay, that will do that. Okay. This... right, okay. So, this too, what do you have to say for yourself? You need exactly one more gray square. This one needs one of these two, but it can't be both. So for example, if this is a mine, that would force this to be a mine as well because of the 3. The 3 would then kill this, and the 2 would now also kill that, thereby making that not allowed. Alternatively, if this is not a mine, that kills this as well. Oh wait, so if this is a mine, that kills this, which then kills that, and also kills that at the same time. Which means that can't be one. Alright. So I guess 2 ways to look at this. You could have this happen, and now this 0 is all like, okay, these are linked, these, oh, yeah. Then just like these are linked to each other, right? But I guess alternatively, if this is a mine, that is, if that's not a mine, then this is, which makes that not. Now if this isn't, this 0 needs to say, that's the only black square left for me. Wait, no, other way around. That's the only gray square I have left, and I don't have anything left to balance this black if it is a mine. But now this one has 2 grays and nothing else. And so that means like there is a mine here, which does this. Okay. Alright. If I can do one more, then I'll have like done all the things that I've unlocked. And then we'll just be pretty close to the end. And these go pretty quickly, so it seems. Like I can just click stuff and it usually just kind of works. Okay, we might have to think for this one. I've clicked everything and nothing has happened. Alright. What is this? This thing is balanced, right? So it has 2 blacks. Okay, let's not look there. This one has... It's balanced right now? Okay, so it's one of these or the other. So let's say if that was happening, then these would have to be the same. That has to be not. This has +1 gray. That means that's gone. This one, yeah, okay. Oh, wait, no, okay. Well, yeah, no, this is already, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Then this would need that. It would also kill that and that. Because this already has +1 gray, so, yeah, okay. Never mind, I was wrong about a lot of things. Okay, this is a balance, so it needs to do that. Okay. Okay, so if this isn't 1, then this is. And if that is, this 1 says that that has to be as well. Now this 0 says, ooh. It's already, it's good right now, right? It's balanced. Oh, but this 0 would say that I have a black and I need a gray. Yeah. And that would force this as well. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So if these are all mines, that's not possible. Only one of them can be, because, yeah, alright. So in particular, I know this now. Alright. Woohoo! Unlock new set. Hashtag 5x5. Please return to the level. So, or hashtag prime. Yeah, here it is. Ooh, it's like hashtag, except all of the bonus stuff, all the bonus variants, and all of these as well are also possible clues. But I still also want to do this one as well, which I need to do wall for. But like, I'm definitely out of time. But okay, so I'll just do wall 8x8. Then I'll do this thing. And then I'll do some of this. And then maybe I can manage to fit all that in one episode, and that will be like the end. Yeah, believe it or not, that might be the end. Okay, so this might be the second to last episode of 14 Minesweeper variants. But there's still always 14 Minesweeper variants too. That is also a thing, and I might just do that after this. So that might be coming up. Alright, thanks for watching. Void out.